Welcome to City on a Hill Gaming, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. Let's meet our players.
Hi, I'm Grant, and I'm playing Trather Wimlin, a human fighter.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and I'm going to be playing John Abermere, a Crimson-born human.
Peter, Bertrand Greystone, Dwarven Forge Cleric.
William R. Aarakocran Changes.
Daniel, I am playing Vatten. I am a half-elf ranger.
Hi, my name is Ben, and I am Twig, or Shem. I am a rogue bard and a Goliath.
We hope you enjoy our episode. Welcome back to City on a Hill Gaming. I am your Game Master, Ryan, and it is time for more of the Dungeons & Dragons, but maybe a little differently this time. I'm going to experiment with a thing, and we'll see what happens. As you know, in 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, there's a race called Aarakocran, and they are avian creatures, and they're super cool. They can fly, and look like owls and eagles and stuff, and that's sweet. And I thought, what if an entire party could fly? What if they were all sort of like Aarakocran, but slightly different, so I made my own sub-races? It's fine. We're just going to go with it, and it'll be good, and I'm excited about it. And here with me for this experiment in vertical, entirely in the air combat, probably, we'll see what happens, are three lovely people I know mostly from the fact that we all listen to the Nerd of Godcast. And if you're not, you should be, because Tony, Neff, Steven, Jackie, Lise Marie, and Nick are fantastic people. Nicholas, as I call him, War Turtle Sadler. They are good people, and you should check out their Christ Culture and Nerd Culture podcast, Nerd of Godcast, I believe.com, wherever your fine podcasts are consumed. We all listen to that show. And so I reached out to these three ladies, and now we're going to play some Dungeons & Dragons with their avian characters, and I'll let you guys introduce your characters. JoAnne, who play you this evening?
Hi, so I play an owl cleric, and her name is Amihan, or you can call her Ami.
Okay. Ashley.
My character, her name is Lorana, and she is a Falcon bard.
Okay, and I'll put the weird distinctions I made for the different types of Aarakocran, I will put those in the show notes for this episode, so all of you guys can see it. And Shanine.
I'm an eagle paladin named Rourke.
Okay, so combat's going to be a little weird, because instead of just having like a wide open three-dimensional D&D game like we usually do, this is going to be more of like a side-scrolling adventure game where you really can only go up and down and left and right. And diagonal, it's not like chess. But we're going to see what happens when everything takes place in the skies. Your three characters have all been called to a city on one of the higher peaks in the region. The city is called Igala, and it's one of the larger, more predominant cities in the area. And you have all been called by a hawk, who's sort of part of the ruling group in the city. You guys may be from the area, you may not be, but at some point he has reached out to each of you, and his name is Verilath, and he has called you to the high tower at the top of the city because he needs your help. And he kind of sees the three of you coming in, he motions you over. Excellent, yes. Good, and good. I need help from the three of you if possible.
Sure.
I tell you what. Everyone make me an insight check. So we have a 3, a 4, and a 6. As far as you know, he seems perfectly calm and totally relaxed, and that nothing is wrong. Everything is fine.
Uh-huh.
He promises. He seems totally chill about the whole thing. So what
Birds.
I need from the three of you, I'm sure you've heard, there are some creatures who have come into the region recently. You know the area where you're from is largely inhabited only by Aarakocran. There are, other creatures, there are beasts of all kinds, but there's not a lot of other, like there aren't a whole lot of like elves or dwarves or Goliath or anything. We suspect a tribe of goblins has moved into the area, and they are a little different than usual. They can fly, which we've never seen before.
Uh-oh.
We have our concerns that they have made some kind of deal with some kind of dragon who has granted them
Sounds
wings
fine.
of some sort. It seems very not good for anyone, to be frank. Goblins should not be able to
Dangerous.
fly.
No.
So we were wondering, as the ruling council wanted to know if the three of you would investigate for us. They have taken control of an outpost to the north of here, on one of the other terraces, and they seem to have kind of set up a little bit of a base. They have catapults, and the whole thing seems very not good for anyone.
If my two companions are willing to go, then I will follow.
Most excellent. And you will be compensated, of course. When you return, we will reward you handsomely if you can determine A, why they're here, and B, possibly convince them to leave or something. They have been attacking some of our trading caravans, and frankly is going to cause a problem. The or something is up to you. the or something is totally optional. I've learned to leave it up to the party how they want to deal with situations.
Of course.
We're very flexible here. So you guys can do a couple of things. You can gather supplies before you leave. You can try and learn more information about the area you're headed to. You can maybe try and find out some more things about goblins and why they're flying now for reasons. You guys are welcome to make any sort of theoretical rolls to determine those things. History, insight, investigation, nature, persuasion if you want to try and talk someone into telling you something about something. Go nuts with it. Not animal handling, because goblins are not Pokemon. So anything other than that one, probably.
No. Okay, so I was going to say history, but my history is terrible. So let's go with insight. I will try another insight check. Let's see if that.
Go for it.
All right, so haha.
Okay,
that's better.
Okay, that's a 13. So you, as he finishes talking, you get a better look at his facial expressions, and that calm demeanor that you thought you saw before is gone. He seems genuinely a little concerned about all of this. Goblins genuinely just don't fly. That's not a thing that happens. Or like they fly with hang gliders that are poorly made. These have actual wings for some reason. And that seems very not normal. There are not even usually goblins in this area.
There's not even goblins in this area usually?
No, there's not even. Okay. So I should explain this. You guys are in the region of Igala. And Igala, almost every city or town or village or anything is on the side of a cliff or on a platform that hangs off the edge of a mountain or something like that, because almost everyone in the region can fly. So I'm sure in the valleys somewhere there were probably goblins at some point, but not where you guys are, not on the terraces, not on the platforms.
And so now they're flying up to the platforms and terraces.
Yes, and taking control of them and being, goblin-like.
Troublesome. Okay, yeah, that's fun.
At some point, I've done too much bad to goblins in our game. I'm going to have to run a game that every player is a goblin, and we're going to have to explore the better side of goblins at some point. I'm going to have to do that now.
Of course.
Where's my notepad? We're going to have to write that down.
But for now, they need to stop.
They need to stop, yes. They are being very not nice.
Right. So, as I said, Lenara and Rourke are ready and willing. I will follow.
Now, would it be possible to do an investigation of sorts?
Sure. Now, what would you like to investigate? More into goblins or more into...
More into the goblins themselves.
Okay. Yes, I would say either investigation to maybe go to the local library or something. Or
yes,
maybe to do research, or nature to just dig into your own knowledge of the tiny little goblin friends.
I think going into nature just to investigate them a little more closely.
Okay, go for it.
Would be beneficial. Now, is this a D20 with that number?
Yes. So your nature is 3. So yes, 1d20 plus 3.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay, that's another 2. That's your second 2 somehow. That's kind of impressive. I have concerns. Okay.
We are about defying odds, Ryan.
Yes, that's what we do here. Grant's not here to roll his 7s, so Ashley roll 2s repeatedly instead. We'll take that.
That's likely what's going to happen. That number haunts me.
Consistency is important. That's what we strive for. You know very little about goblins. You know loosely what goblins are. They're tiny and they're red or green and they run around and generally are not very nice. But you do know. You know from experience. You've seen 3 goblins fly ever, and those were all with really poorly made hang gliders. Kind of an Icarus thing, and it went real badly.
Keep them away from the sun.
Yes, none have ever had wings before. That's not a thing. Shanine, would you like to roll a thing?
Sure. Is there maybe someone we could talk to see if there's any other rumors or information about these goblins?
You know a handful of people in the local ruling class. If you want to go talk to one of them, I would say make me like a persuasion or intimidation if you want to get all up angry about it. Which I would kind of like to hear Shanine do, to be honest.
I was gonna say, please
do it.
I don't usually encourage intimidation checks, but for this one instance, I will make an exception. It seems very not
like,
Shanine.
no.
I like it. Any of the other sort of discussion checks are totally fine, though. You still have quite a good persuasion score, so I think that'll be okay.
I mean, I'm kind of tempted to try intimidation just for fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Do it.
You have it because the background I gave the character is soldier, and it comes with intimidation. So if you wanted to take maybe less of an angry intimidation and more of like a military giving orders approach, that would be an option.
Yes.
Or just loud yelling, Shanine, because that would also be great.
I don't think anyone's ever seen that before. Okay.
We're a podcast of firsts.
Okay, so who am I talking to?
Okay, so you know one of your former commanders, we'll say, in the unit you served in sort of a guard capacity. We'll call him Captain Eris. And you know he lives in this part of the area, and you could probably find him, and he would probably know the answers to things. He still keeps in touch with a lot of his contacts, and if there are invaders, he would have knowledge of it.
Okay.
Make me that intimidation check.
On my former commander?
Yeah, well, you're going to pull rank on him now because he's retired.
Yeah.
You outrank him now, so you're going to pull rank on him.
Okay.
Pull that youth card.
That's right.
14.
Okay, all right. So, you know the area. He hangs out near the main tower, sort of where the ruling class hangs out, because he is an advisor to one of the local leaders, and he sees you coming. Oh, Rourke, it's good to see you again. What are you doing here? I haven't seen you in some time.
Hello, sir. I don't have time for chit-chat. We've been told about these flying goblins, and I need to know if you have any information on them.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Wait, what just happened? Oh, yes, quite a nuisance they are. They've brought you in for the expedition. Interesting. Yes, they're to the north some distance on one of the uninhabited, sort of abandoned platforms. I think they've taken control of that terrace, and we don't know why they fly. One of them came too close to a platform near here, and it was captured. And it kept referring to itself as being a dragonborn now, which is, I mean, inaccurate at best. But disconcerting that it does actually have wings and the ability to fly rather adeptly. For a goblin, so to speak. It's likely, if this is happening, that it is the work of some kind of dragon that has interfered here in some sense, and that is troubling for all of us. Dragons are our most dangerous lot, and goblins are often known to cooperate with them. Ma'am.
Indeed. Is this goblin still in custody?
I suppose he would likely be. They would have probably transferred him here, actually, to one of the watchtowers to keep him for further questioning. I could probably get you into that guard tower if you would like.
Yes, as soon as possible.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, what is happening? He just kind of walks off muttering. Seems very confused by all of this.
I am so impressed.
I really like military regimented Shanine. That's good stuff. So
it suits you.
He walks away and he comes back like 5 or 6 minutes later, maybe 10 minutes later. I thought it best to actually have him brought here. I figured that would be easier for you. And you
Very
see
well.
two guards from the local one of the local watchtowers sort of fly towards the platform you guys are on, and they have a tiny goblin between them that is also loosely flying, but is sort of like connected to them, so it can't get away. And I'll make it a little bigger so you guys can see it better. But he kind of has these weird wings that have sprouted off of his arms. He doesn't have the 2 swords in the picture. That would be dangerous. But yeah.
I was gonna say, what kind of custody?
It's fine. He's fine. But no, he's got kind of grown out, like almost razor style wings off of the sides of his arms, and he appears to glide fairly well, and he seems very feisty and upset. Yeah. He just kind of looks at you very frustrated.
Okay, can I roll intimidation on him as well?
Go for it.
Okay, 17.
Okay. He starts mumbling. You kind of you freak him out a little bit because you think probably none of the people he's talked to or have tried to get information out of him have done a particularly good job so far. He's just been kind of feisty and annoying, and no one's really accomplished much, but you kind of scare him a little bit. What? What do you want?
Okay.
Why is Flaps here?
Flaps?
Flaps.
I
wasn't planning on this, so I had to make a name up. What do you want?
I glared down at him as fiercely as I possibly can. And how did you get these wings?
Yes, well, the Exalted One provides for us little Dragonborn ones. Yes, Dragonborn now. See, and he tries to fly away, and one of the guards just kind of like grabs him. He's like, no, stop that. No. Yeah. It's supposed to fly. It's supposed to cause problems. It's supposed to annoy the big birds. Yeah.
Just annoy the big birds?
Yes. Cause problems. Well, Drekwin makes her plans. I mean, what? Nothing. Fine now, bye. And he tries to fly away again. They yank him back over.
Oh, so his name is Flaps.
Yes, his name is Flaps.
Oh, okay. I thought he was calling us Flaps.
No. His name is Flaps.
Okay, Flaps, the little winged goblin.
Yes. I was under pressure. It was the best I could do in short notice.
That sounds ridiculously adorable.
Yes. Yeah. I imagine you said that in character, and he kind of looks very frustrated. Yeah.
Right.
Fierce goblin. Yeah.
I mean, obviously
very
he sounds
fierce.
frustrated.
Very fierce.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to. Well, this is probably going to bite me in the tail feathers, but I'm going to try persuasion and see if he'll tell us about these plans. So, Flaps, what do you mean by Dragonborn? Can you explain that for us?
Goblins. We fly now. The Exalted One makes us fly now. Calls us her Dragonborn. We fly now. Yes. take over the skies.
Did she bestow something on you? Did she birth you?
No. We were regular goblins. Little goblins. Can't fly. Not very useful. For her, at least. Now she makes us fly with... We don't really know. But it's fun.
It's fun. Oh, okay. It is fun to fly, isn't it?
Flaps enjoys flying. Something bad peanuts in flight, but other than that, very nice.
Bad peanuts?
Yes. I was trying to make a terrible airline joke. I didn't really know where I was going with it. It's fine.
I mean, okay. I mean, that's okay, Flap.
I've only flown like twice, so it's a lack of understanding. That's me. Ryan has only flown like twice. Ryan doesn't like airplanes.
That's fair. Okay. Lenora, are you going to do something with him?
Yeah.
Well, Lenora feels like she wants to try to intimidate this little goblin because he's not giving us answers.
Go for it.
Do it.
Let's see.
Good cop, bad cop. It'll be fine.
Bad cop.
That's not what I meant to do. No.
Okay, well, we'll just...
Oh, I hit the wrong button.
That's still a D20. We'll just add the 4 bonus to it, and that's a 23.
I like it.
That's
I
funny.
like it.
Instead of rolling a straight 2 for the third time.
So, yes, it's an improvement. All right, say something towards him to make him give you information.
Tell us why the Exalted One gave you wings. Why did she do this?
To be her emissary. I think that's the word she used. Emissaries. We do her bidding now.
And what bidding is that, pray tell?
He just kind of cackles a little bit like, chaos. Yeah. We cause problems. We're good at it. Plus we get catapults now, which is fun.
Oh, that's
catapults
wonderful.
are always fun. That's how we take off.
Oh,
they throw
that's
us.
how you take off.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're more gliding in the air than truly flying with those wings.
We can fly. Yeah.
But you just said that you get launched via catapult.
Can't take
so
off.
how are you flying?
We can
you take
fly.
off your own way?
He's very offended. He seems very... He's like, no, I can fly. I don't know what you're talking about. She told me I can fly. I can fly. He seems very convinced he's able of actual flight, but he just, he's short, so he can't...
That struggle is real,
There's
man.
no arm strength.
Yes, that's a true struggle.
He has no upper body strength, so he can't actually take off. That's what the catapults are for.
Okay.
We fly. Yeah. She gave us catapults and helps us fly. And we have wings now. He sits there and kind of like picks at the wings and like picks little things out of them and is like cleaning them. Yeah. Wings now. Everyone make me a perception check. Or investigate. We got 14, a 9, and a 21. JoAnne, when you look really closely at his arms, you're not sure the wings are actually attached.
They're not attached?
Like, you're not sure they're actually a part of him.
Oh.
He doesn't seem to
spell.
realize that.
So
you're not sure if it's magical or mechanical. Actually, you're fairly certain it's mechanical.
Mechanical. That's strange.
Like, it's some kind of things that are strapped to his arms, but he doesn't seem to realize they're not real.
That's why she chose goblins.
Almost like he's been convinced he can fly and has wings. So he can fly and has wings as far as he knows.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty sure those were just put on his arms at some point. Like he was asleep or something and just woke up and had
Instead of taking a rib,
wings.
we put mechanical wings. It's fine.
Yes. He's fairly convinced he has grown wings at some point and can fly. You're pretty sure they're not his.
Okay.
And then Ashley's right. He probably really just kind of glides. Or falls, with style.
The gargoyles couldn't fly. They could only glide on the air.
Is that true? I don't remember that show well enough.
Oh.
They couldn't fly. They could only glide, so they had to climb and climb and climb.
Oh, yeah.
And then they would glide on the air.
I missed that show.
Yeah. There you go.
I have a feeling that's all these goblins are doing. They're just gliding.
Okay, so I'm going to share this insight with Rourke and with Lenora. I think those are not real. Fairly certain those are maybe mechanical? Question mark?
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm going to do a thing.
Things.
17. Okay. He overhears what you say, and in his head, he's kind of like, that's not true. And then he starts picking at them a little bit. Oh.
Oh, let's see.
Flaps no can fly. That's disappointing. Yeah. Flaps just falling with style.
And Flaps, you are so cute. It's okay. It's okay.
Flaps wanted to fly for real. Okay, what are you going to do with him? Do you have more questions for Flaps?
Who is the exalted one?
Go ahead and make me another. Actually, you know what? You rolled absurdly high last time. Where was that? Our leader, Drequin. The red dragon.
Drequin?
Drequin?
Yeah. He's going to try and spell it for you, but he's going to do it wrong.
Precious.
So I'm just going to type it in chat, because that's going to be a struggle for him. Yeah, Drequin. The exalted one. The red dragon. She can fly. But she lets us do it instead.
Has Drequin spoken directly to you? Have you seen Drequin?
Yes. No speaking, but I have seen her before. She comes. We go to her tower.
I was going to say, can we try to persuade him to disclose her tower location?
No. I mean, what? Maybe.
Maybe we should
That
try.
wasn't a question for you, Ryan. That was a question for Flaps.
Totally not, I promise. You won't get that up.
Oh, darn.
Homie's
Probably
straight
gonna-
loyal.
I'd probably roll a 2 anyway.
It's worth a shot if you want to try.
I totally want to try to see if we can
Do
persuade him to cooperate, because
I saw her
persuasion.
once the day I got my wings.
Let's see something.
You saw her when you got your wings?
We go to the tower and you stay overnight at the tower, and then the next day you have wings.
Wow. Did it hurt?
Nope.
No pain.
Nope. Goblin's tough.
I'm sure you are.
Goblin's also unconscious during process, but that's fine.
Um,
You go to sleep,
and
then you wake
tries
up.
to stifle a laugh.
You go to sleep and then you wake up and have wings. It's really cool.
I'm so glad you enjoyed this process, dear one.
It's like when the tooth fairy comes. You go to sleep and then you wake up the next day and there's money there for reasons.
Oh, precious
my.
child.
Except you get wings this time.
Oh.
And no having to pull teeth out with doorknobs.
This is an interesting goblin study as well. I didn't realize goblins had tooth fairies.
They have a very deep and rich backstory that no one appreciates, and I'm just now realizing that.
Bring it, dude.
We're
Give
gonna
it
have to fix
to
that.
us.
That's going to be a thing we're going to have to do at some point. Okay. All right. So are you going to try and convince Flaps to take you to his leader?
I think Lenara was, yes?
Lenara tried, but she doesn't know if the number was high enough to do
I didn't
anything.
even see that. I'm sorry. I distracted myself. 14. Why? Why do you want to see the exalted one?
Because we want to have a nice conversation with her and get to know her and get to know her children that she's bestowing the gift of wings upon.
Oh, well, that's okay. Yeah, I Flaps show you or tell you where it is. It's not far from our place. Our platform is where her tower is, but all my family is at my tower on our platform. That's ours now. She said it's ours now, so it's ours now.
How gracious of her.
Yeah, nice lady.
That's very generous.
Mm-hmm. But you get the, so you know the platform where they are is probably, I don't know, a day's, I'd say flight, a day's trip from the terrace you're on now. And then you think, probably based on how long his wings are and how long he can conceivably glide for, it's probably not super, super far from their terrace to wherever her tower is.
Okay.
Good to know.
So what do you think, Rourke? Shall we go?
Yes, if we are prepared for battle, we should go.
Let the preparations commence.
Yes, we will. Your supplies will be provided for you, of course. Your Shanine's old commander, now who she outranks, shows up, and a couple of guards are dragging a cart. Your carts here don't have wheels for the most part. They actually float, using
I was going to say,
a very advanced version of Mage Hand.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, fancy.
And so the guards kind of pull the cart forward, and it's got, enough rations for probably close to a week. Bunch of supplies. When you guys have gone on expeditions in the past, there are these sort of, I'm going to call it it's between a tent and like a roost that you can kind of attach to the side of a cliff. And it sort of gives you a perch for the period you are resting. They have 3 really nice, like, military issue one of those.
Ooh,
Gotcha.
comfortable.
And they're fairly compact until you set them up, so you can carry them pretty easily.
Awesome.
Good deal.
So are we not taking the wagon with us?
I would suggest not.
Okay.
That would probably slow you down.
Yeah, it sounds like it would weigh us down tremendously.
Yes. And they're kind of like, the wagons are movable between some platforms, but it requires, like, someone really focusing on doing so, and it hampers your flying speed tremendously.
All right, so ain't nobody got time for that.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Makes sense.
All right.
Okay, if you want to head out in that direction, I'll tell you what, you guys, you know roughly where you're headed, but you're not positive. Wants to make me a survival check. You have an 18 though. That's totally fine. You know roughly where this platform is. You've been there before. And it will take you probably at least 6 or 8 hours of flight, but, stopping off at other terraces, other platforms as you go to get there, but you can do it before sunset.
All right.
So you guys head out that direction, and at some point, it is probably, you've probably gone for 5 or 6 hours, and you haven't seen anything of them. Well, you've seen some other Aarakocra, other bands of merchants flying around. You do see them actually, multiple of them doing something to keep multiple sets of carts in the air as they fly. You guys are obviously moving much more quickly than they are, but it does seem to be how they transport goods from one terrace to the other.
Are these are the carts that the other goblins are disrupting?
You can tell actually one of the groups has been raided recently. Like part of the cart is broken, several of them have bandages, and it looks like the cart has maybe not got as much stuff as it probably should on it. Okay, so as you guys get to a point, it's going to be dark soon, and you're not necessarily in sight of the terrace you're looking for, but you're not too far out, and it's going to be dark soon. Do you want to go straight there, or do you want to stop for the evening?
I don't know how everybody else is. I mean, I think I'd rather stop closer, right?
Yeah. I'm all for getting as close as possible.
Okay. So you guys proceed on a little bit, and you are now within, like, significantly far away sight distance, like probably like a mile across the sky. You can see another platform, and it looks largely abandoned, but you do see small forms kind of launching into the air kind of randomly and soaring around before they land again.
That's so adorable. I can't.
You're not sure how Flaps managed to get as far away as he did. It wasn't intentional.
Strength catapult.
Even the catapult should not have launched him that far.
So
I don't know if he caught like a real good gale force or like
he was on the jet stream.
Maybe he latched onto the back of someone's cart by accident. No one's really sure, but it happened. Kind of, you guys are actually a little under the platforms, and you can see in the distance. Okay, so these platforms, the terrace you were on before has like well-built stone structures and is, really fastened to the side of the hills and the mountains nicely. This one's like very thin platforms, and they're hanging by like loosely connected rope bridges.
I was gonna say they look very primitive
Yes,
compared to
they
where
are.
it came from.
Not so sturdy. Must be exercise caution.
And you do see one of them, actually, one of the little goblins is sitting on a catapult and launches himself. And he just kind of flies over and lands on the other platform and seems very happy about the whole thing.
I'm going to have a really hard time not giggling at how cute they are.
And you guys are kind of under them. You don't think they've seen you yet. Okay.
We're supposed to be like down here somewhere.
Yeah. So essentially, you're underneath where they are. You're kind of soaring, not at the same height as their platforms. They can't exactly see you. They don't seem to have noticed you yet. But there are some of them kind of loosely gliding through the air, and several of them on their platforms, and they are armed.
Uh-oh.
So they do have the knives in their hands.
Yes. The picture is accurate for these four. They do seem to be carrying weapons. Goblin in the picture, not to scale.
Okay.
I was gonna say, wow, she's really bestowing gifts on them.
Yeah, she is.
Oh yeah. The gift of gigantism. Ooh.
And I don't know who did this, but I found this on Google Images, and it seemed good because it actually had birds in the background.
Right.
And the goblin standing on a cliff. You're fairly close to them at this point, like a couple 100 feet from the platform. You see in the distance another caravan is coming, and they have taken notice of that, and seem to be gathering their weapons and their resources.
Wonderful.
And you notice on one of the platforms, one of the ones that's like really well attached to the side of the mountain, you see some that look much older. Look like they were original. These look almost like not recently added, but not well constructed some time ago. On one of the other platforms, you see stuff that looks stolen. Like, it's just huge barrels of resources that make no sense for them to be there. And they seem to just kind of be piling it up.
Okay.
And divvying it out as they go.
Are they resources that we would be familiar with?
Yeah, they look like normal, like, goods that would sell in an Aarakocran market.
Okay. So potentially stolen from our area.
Possibly,
Probably
yes.
from that caravan that we just passed.
That is some of it looks like it's like they're still moving boxes over.
Okay.
And they seem excited. They are sort of celebrating, very loosely. Okay, what do you guys want to do? They look very intent on raiding this incoming caravan. And the caravan doesn't look like it has a lot. It has 2 guards. They will get overwhelmed.
Right. I mean, so my idea is I would like to kind of distract them. Not necessarily like attack them, but distract them. But I don't see anything that I could use to do that.
Make perception checks.
Nope.
That's a 19
I
plus
mean,
a 1
double,
for a 20. Okay,
doubled.
we're good.
Actually, you're great.
Okay. Huzzah.
So what you notice as you look close, one of the platforms in the middle, it's one of the smaller ones, it seems very rickety, and that the ropes that hold it to the other platforms that are actually connected to the mountain, because this one isn't, look very thin and maybe cuttable or loose in some fashion.
Like if it got hit by an arrow at the right angle,
or like, I don't know, aggressively cut with the battle axe might come loose in some sense.
Interesting.
And there are no goblins standing on that platform.
Oh, so you're talking about this one? Oh no,
This
one in the
here
middle.
in the middle, yeah.
First,
I wonder if I could use stealth and then use my dagger.
Okay.
Do it.
Do it. Make me a
Can I
stealth
do
check
it?
to sneak up and then try and cut the rope with your dagger.
All right, let's do this.
And you do it if you do it like up next to it, you won't have to roll to cut the rope.
Okay. So let's try some stealthy rope cutting.
Hey.
There you go. That's a 19.
That is some stealthy rope.
Do you want to cut the right side or the left side?
Let's go with the right.
Okay. So you fly up. I'm just gonna put you right there. Oop. And they still haven't noticed you. You're kind of under the platform, and you cut it right. Oh, there. Wait, oh, I didn't do it. There it is. You cut it right there, and a couple things happen. These ropes kind of like swing off to the side.
Ooh.
Bye-bye.
And come loose, and
Bye-bye ropes.
this stone platform just kind of swings off and really disconnects from the other ropes. Like the weight of it swinging breaks it, and it just kind of sails down to the ground.
Thank you, Dagger.
Nice job, Lenara.
And the goblins are suddenly very aware of at least something going on, because that was a lot of noise. And also their middle platform's gone now. Which seems
must catapult
accurate.
farther.
Yes,
oh, no.
That's going to be a problem. And they look down and they notice the three of you.
Uh-oh.
Hello!
Before I ask for initiative. So if you have something you want to do first, if you want to try and talk to them, or reposition yourselves or whatever, go for it. But as soon as each of you are done with one thing, they will at least try and get you to stop cutting away their platforms and terraces, because that's not nice. I'm not saying what they were going to do was nice either, but it's fine.
It's all perspective.
Yes.
Their destruction was imminent. It was going to happen.
It's accurate. All right, so what would each of you like to do?
Oh, well. Someone else can go while I figure out what I want to do.
Almost like I want to use my acrobatics to safely get away from them before they attempt to attack me, but that's not very good to my party.
Okay. That would be an option. You could acrobatics to put some better distance. You could try and intimidate them into leaving. You could try and persuade them to leave.
I think I want to try to persuade them to leave.
Okay. Or to at least leave the other people alone. Go for it. Make me a persuasion check.
Yes. All right, persuasion check. And...
You go, girl.
I'm very persuasive.
Yes,
Come
you are.
on, goblins.
Okay. What do you say to them?
Please let us pass. Do not attack.
Yeah. What are birds? No. What do you want? Why are you here?
We want to know why you're here.
Our
and
platform.
Why do you have these items?
Our items.
Have they always been yours?
No.
I don't think they have been. They look very familiar. Where did you get them from?
Please
tell us.
She said we could.
Who?
The other bird people.
Who told you that you could take these items?
The exalted one. It's our job. And several job.
What will you do with these items?
You've caused like a serious crisis for them now. That wasn't part of the discussion at any point.
See the little wheels turning.
One of them's like, take them back to her, I guess? Maybe? We never thought about that. They're very heavy. And we can't seem to make the carts float. We can't seem to get the carts to float like they do.
Oh.
It's magical. Sorry, what did you say, JoAnne?
I was going to say that Lenara should try and convince them to start taking them to her, and we'll just kind of follow. And it'll distract them, and then that one caravan can pass, and then, they're distracted.
I would love to try to persuade them. Take us to your leader.
I mean, you do have a 22. Anything's possible.
Indirectly.
Yeah, I would like to try to persuade them to take us to their leader.
Wait.
We want to see where the goods are going, and we want to have that contact with her. Take us to your leader.
Okay. Wait. I mean, what? Okay. Sure. I guess we could.
We're trying to be peaceful with all flying creatures now that goblins can fly.
Oh, yeah, we
That's
can.
a good one.
We can fly now. It's fun. I mean,
we know.
I don't think that's necessarily what she's hoping for, but, anything's possible, I guess. She kind of wants us to cause problems for people. We're good at that.
Well, this is a problem. Maybe we want to cause problems, too. We just want to find out what she's trying to do, so see if we can help.
Oh, you could...
Could you take us there?
You could help us cause problems. Okay, that'd be nice.
Yes.
Because this is getting kind of complicated sometimes. And we're running out of storage space.
We absolutely could help. We absolutely could help. So
Sure.
If you could take us to your leader, we could absolutely help if she's willing to let us.
I mean, yeah. Okay. I tell you what. Hold on. Well, let me go get somebody who flies better than me. like
Okay.
for longer, and she can probably take you. She's a better flyer than I. Hold on, he disappears. He flies back to he glides back to one of the other platforms that's like attached to the mountain, and he disappears inside a cave for like 5 minutes. He comes back, and a much smaller goblin with the same kind of wings they have, but they're different. They're more shimmery, and they're kind of, I shouldn't say, like iridescent almost. They kind of like radiate a little bit. She walks out. Yes. What? Hi. Where am I taking you? Why am I taking bird people somewhere? I don't understand.
You're taking us to the Exalted One because we would love to join your cause and help.
Okay. She looks very confused by
your
this.
compatriots said that you're having trouble causing problems, and we would love to help. So if we could talk with your leader, the Exalted One, I'm sure she would let us join your cause.
I mean,
but we need to meet her first.
They're kind of idiots, so they kind of blame that on them, but that's fine.
We can help.
They overdo it with the rating sometimes. There's too much stuff now. And you notice, as you look at her closer, she's actually wrapped her wings in something she probably found in the boxes. It looks like some kind of material she found.
Huh.
And so that's what makes them kind of iridescent.
Gotcha. Shiny fabric.
Yes. I mean, okay, whatever. If it means I get to leave them here, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I'll take you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to stop like multiple times because it's kind of far from here for us.
Take all the time you need.
Okay. I'll be right back. She goes and comes back out with like a little satchel and a spear. And before she jumps off the platform, she looks at the one who. Make sure no one breaks anything while I'm gone. And she says it like oddly authoritatively. And he's like, fine. And he looks over at the other side of the cliff. He's like, put that down. And like two of them have a crate in their hands, like they're about to throw it for no reason. They're like, but if you just let her leave, it would have been fine. Gotten away with it too. Yeah. They set it down and go back to hastily trying to rebuild their catapults because they seem kind of worse for wear. They've overused them. So she takes off, and she actually seems like she can actually. You're not sure if her wings are any more real than theirs are. She's much better at flying than most of them seem to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she doesn't just fling herself off the catapult for no reason. She actually has attempted to learn to do this with some amount of practice. Oh, okay. So she takes off, and she leads you guys, and it takes you about an hour, and she has to stop once or twice to kind of land and then take back off again. And she is not flying, but she's much closer to flying than they are. And you think there's a good chance she's doing something different than they are, but that she's actually figured out to use them more efficiently to actually travel a distance. Like Flaps did by accident, possibly.
So she has a greater level of skill using her equipment.
Much greater level of skill.
Smart girl.
We're almost there. And you see in the distance, you see a platform. And you see off in the distance, that platform, that terrace, is very large. And is almost just like a plateau at the top of a mountain. And it's actually covered in trees. And at the far side, there's a bronze tower. And she lands probably 200 or 300 yards away from the tower. And when you all land, and she lands, she stops and she looks at you. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe you. I don't really think you want to help her. But that doesn't necessarily bother me. I don't like her.
Oh.
So, if you're here to help, fine. I don't really care. But if you're not, I'm not going to stop you.
Before she goes, is there a way to kind of see if she'll talk about why she doesn't like?
You can try and convince her to.
Okay, well, let's see.
I would take... You could try insight to just kind of read her mood.
Right, just to see what she's feeling.
You're pretty sure if you try and intimidate her, she will shut down.
Well, yeah.
Definitely not doing that.
Not that one. So persuasion or insight or something like that.
Well, there's insight.
And it's for any of the three of you who want to. Okay, 17 from JoAnne. So we'll let Ashley and Shanine roll, and we'll go from there.
Gonna try persuasion.
Okay.
See if I can get her on my side and stay on my side. All right, let's see.
Okay. That's a 17 and a 22. Shanine, what you got?
Nothing good.
Okay, that's all right. You still have a 17 and a 22. So you guys sit her down and you talk to her, and she... I'll tell you what, you guys... I'll let you guys go with it. What do you say?
What's your name, young one? Sorry, Ryan.
Yep. I wondered if you were going to ask, but I didn't bother to come up with one in that time period. So give me a second.
I realized after I asked, I was like, ooh, my bad.
The nameless one.
Yes. She has no name. No, that would be bad. I would feel bad about that. Yeah. She kind of mulls it over and she looks at you. You decide she's trying to figure out if she trusts you. Aviana. Why?
That's a beautiful name.
Thank you. Why?
Aviana, why do you distrust her? Can you explain that a little bit to me? She gave you wings.
Yeah,
and everybody...
Before she showed up, we kept to ourselves. And we were fine. You guys were up on the cliffs, and we were down under the mountain. And it was fine. And now we have to do what she says, and some of my friends haven't come back when they've gone on raids. And that didn't happen before, and I don't like it. Everybody else likes it because they can fly now, and it's cool. I get that, but they don't come home. That's not okay.
You're right. That is not okay.
So, yeah. If she goes away, that's fine. I'm okay with it.
Was there another leader that she persuaded that your family or your group was following before she came?
I mean, there were other goblins who were in charge, and they still sort of are. She left them in charge. She's just in charge of them now.
Oh, okay.
She just kind of...
We
take directions from them, but she gives them to them.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at you and she's like... She hesitates for a second. And I'm pretty sure she takes orders from someone.
Oh.
I'm not convinced. Like, that tower she's in, that's new. Like,
How
real
new?
new. We've only been able to fly for like a couple weeks. And that tower never used to be over there. It wasn't here when I came through here, I don't know, like 3 months ago. Towers don't just show up places. That doesn't happen. I don't really know where she got it, but pretty sure somebody gave it to her.
Interesting. Well, thank you for sharing this information with us.
Yeah, it's fine. She was here before, you know, before we could fly. But she left us alone.
She was always in this location?
Not late. She was always around. We've seen her before.
But she was minding her own business, huh?
Yeah. Lots of dragons use goblins as their like little minions or whatever. But she never did. I'm not sure she's actually a dragon. She says she is. And she's bigger than us, so I mean whatever. But I'm not sure she's actually a dragon either. I don't know. She's not very nice. But yeah, she's in the tower. Sometimes she's on top, sometimes she's inside. And you look over across, and you're a couple hundred yards away. And you can see something resting on top of the tower, and it's
red with big wings.
Yes. And on top of the tower, and sort of soaring around her, are some goblins. And Aviana kind of looks up at her and is like, I'm going to go now.
Okay, Aviana.
And she just kind of, she takes like a running start and she soars back towards her platform.
I personally am going to mull over. Maybe not a dragon. She's been here and she just started bothering with things.
And the tower's
I almost
new.
want to. The tower's new, and she's
And the tower
potentially
is
not
new.
a dragon. Is there any way that I could use stealth to get a closer look?
You could absolutely try that. There are trees around, like between where you are and where the tower base of the tower is. There are a bunch of fairly tall trees, like
I think
3,
that
4,
I
5-story tall trees.
Yeah, I would like to try to do this
Okay.
and use stealth to get closer.
Make me a stealth check.
Alright, stealth check.
You think as you get closer, she's clearly not paying attention to you. You're not even sure she's talking to the goblins. The goblins are just kind of soaring around because that's what they do. Make me a perception, investigation, nature, survival, or history.
I think I'll do investigation.
Okay. Yes, that's a 21.
I love that so much, Ashley.
In your bard training, and sort of just in growing up as an Aarakocra, you learn about the dangers of your region. Beasts that are bigger than you, and largely ones that can fly, which is a problem because they're also bigger than you, and they can get to you. You learn about dragons. This isn't a dragon. This is 100% not a dragon. It's close. As far as the goblins are concerned, it's probably a dragon. They don't know any better. You think there's a good chance this is actually a drake, which is like a much smaller dragon. That's not even technically really a dragon, but can still fly.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to go... I need to find a meme generator. So you know the Drake meme where it's the like hand up no picture and then the pointing picture?
Right.
And then the top one's going to be the dragon, the bottom one's going to be a drake. And I can't get that out of my head now. Because it's a drake. Yep. Okay, that's going to happen later. Yes, you're fairly certain that's not a dragon. Like, even a little bit.
Nice.
She can fly, and you're pretty certain, because you're close enough, you see little, like, bits of smoke come out of her nostrils. You're pretty sure she can still, like, breathe fire and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not a dragon.
Still must be wary.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Still dangerous. Just not a dragon.
There's no other trees to hide behind.
Not closer to her, no.
No. So stealth isn't exactly a possibility without being seen.
Not a whole lot closer. I mean, you could try and sneak into and up the tower, but it seems difficult.
That's a lot of work.
Self-preservation. I don't think I want to get much closer.
So what do you guys want to do? You're pretty sure you can't get to the tower without being noticed.
Without being noticed.
That seems super unlikely to you.
Sure.
Now I'm wondering if I can get their attention by giving a performance to see if I can engage them.
Okay, that's a thing you could do.
Can you?
I want to try.
Yes.
If you want to get attention, you can 100% do that to get attention.
Because we only have a finite certainty of what this figure is. I want to engage them, but in a performance to get their attention in a positive way because I'm charismatic. Let's see if I can do it in a nice way. 23.
I cannot wait to see this performance.
Okay, I'm going to let you go nuts with this because that seems to be what's going to happen, so we're just going to go with it.
This is so hard to decide.
So you do have perform, and you are a bard. And yeah, I mean, you could play an instrument, you could do any number of things. I will let you decide how your bard does things like that.
I would like to get their attention by playing a mandolin.
Okay, go for it. What kind of song do you play for them?
So I am playing a lullaby on my mandolin to coax them into a more gentle mood. So when we approach, they're not in an antagonistic position.
Okay. Okay, I like it. Okay.
Try to calm them.
What kind of... Okay, so you're going to play a very soothing song.
Yes. Think like Zelda's lullaby from The Legend of Zelda.
Okay. I like
Something
it.
like that. Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I 100% dig it. Okay. So you're fairly close to the tower. You're probably only 20 or 30 feet from the tower. And you begin to play your mandolin. And she takes notice of you, and so do the goblins, but the goblins kind of get, like, borderline lulled to sleep by it. They kind of just slowly... You know what it looks like when you drop a piece of paper, and it kind of wafts back and forth in the air?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of waft back and forth onto the top of the tower. And they fall asleep.
I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't to that melody? It's just so soothing.
It's just all the chill.
It's so good.
I dig it. Okay, so you kind of let it just... And they just kind of float down, and you think they might not be asleep, but they're certainly pretty close.
They're pretty groggy.
They are chill.
Yes, they are all the chill. And she peers over the top of the tower. Little flying one, what do you want?
We have some questions for you, O Exalted One.
You know who I am. Most interesting. Well, ask your questions, I suppose.
Well, we know of your presence far and wide of our kingdom. The goblins have called you Exalted One and told them that you gave them the gift of flight. We want to know what purpose this serves. They say that they are here to create problems. Why have you done this?
Well, that's just my nature, I suppose. And make me a, I've had you guys roll dice constantly. All three of you make me an insight check.
You got it.
She just goes on this, like, long babbling rant.
Is she doing a monologue?
A little bit.
Yes.
Like, not like an evil villain monologue. She
No,
just,
it's
like... We'll see what happens. You guys roll those dice.
So, I'm so
nat
sorry. What did you say?
Meh. Not very good.
Okay, wait. Who had a nat 20? Was that Shanine?
Yes.
Yes,
I heard the
girl.
excitement. Actually, 14
Yay.
actually is still quite good.
Not
Did
my
you say
23.
insight, Ryan?
Yes, insight. Shanine, what does that give you total?
21.
Yeah.
Nice. Yay.
You're pretty sure she talks for like a full minute about her great plans to rule this region and all of this nonsense. Actual, just complete nonsense. All three of you realize she's just ranting on about nothing. Shanine, you're pretty positive she's memorized this. Like, this is some kind of...
Performance.
Almost. Like, she's just going on and on about how annoying all you flying bird creatures are, and how all these platforms would be better served by her and her people, and how special her little goblins are, and
Ooh,
all
she's
of
lamenting.
and she's just completely full of it. Like, none of this is... You're buying none of it. This has nothing to do with why she's doing any of this. What you want to do with that is up to you, but you're pretty sure she's just absolute nonsense.
With that 13, am I able to see if she's, like, looking around, like, watching to see if somebody's watching her give this monologue? Or...
She's just very focused on her nonsense.
Okay. Like she's talking to a mirror?
Almost. Like, she's talking to you, but she's definitely just kind of...
But she checked out. She's not talking to us.
She's like talking at us instead of talking to us.
She is, I think perform is a good word. She's just babbling on at this point. And she's still, unless you stop her, she's just going to keep rambling on.
I mean, I'm okay with listening to her ramble. Maybe she'll say something important, but I don't know what anyone
I'm just, I really feel like you all are trouble, and I really don't know why you showed up at my tower. This seems very rude. My goblins were practicing their flying, and now they're just kind of... And her goblins really still aren't even paying attention, because presumably Ashley's still playing the mandolin, and they're still digging it.
Have a sleep.
Yes.
Have a sleep, very relaxed.
Yes,
not
very chill.
wanting to do anything.
And she...
Like...
I tell you what, let me...
I almost want to intimidate her. I almost want to intimidate her to shut her yap.
She pauses for a second, and just kind of, she looks like she's trying to decide whether or not you believe her. She just gives you like that real quick glance of like, is this working? Not positive.
I tried very hard to look like I'm interested in what she's saying.
Okay, you almost have her convinced, so she keeps. So yes, that is why you should. Why are you here? Actually, I don't fully understand why you've showed up to my tower, and are disrupting my goblins. It's not particularly nice, if I'm being honest.
Okay, I'm gonna laugh very mockingly and say, I don't really understand why you're here. You're clearly not the one in charge.
She looks.
Oh, dang.
Oh, those fighting words.
You catch her completely off guard. Of course I am. This is my tower, after all, and these are my goblins. And they, like, two of them nod in agreement, and one of them looks at her kind of like, Scratch the back of your head. Yeah, she is. I'm definitely in charge here. This is all mine, and this was all purchased with my own wealth, and these are my goblins.
Okay, I believe you.
Yes.
Whatever you say, sweetheart.
Yes, these are my goblins.
Whatever you say.
This may be your tower and your goblins, but you are still not the one in charge.
I was not bribed to do this. This is my
Of course not.
I didn't say bribed.
She looks at you very frustrated. And she kind of wing smacks like two of the goblins. Get them. Go get them. And they look up kind of like they've just kind of been into the music and not really paying attention. Like, what? Fine. Alright, roll initiative for me. Ashley, it is your turn. What would Lenara like to do? You're probably, we'll say diagonally, you're probably 70 or 80 feet away from them.
So more so like...
Actually, let me measure it, because that's a thing you can do on Roll20.
You can?
Yeah, actually, you're only about 40 feet from her. You're probably more like 50 feet from the goblins. Yep.
So the goblins are in the air now?
Yes, they are kind of hovering around.
Are they trying to come at us?
You think they're going to, yes.
Okay.
They've taken off with the intention to.
Okay, if they've taken off with the intention to, what I would like to do is use acrobatics to get out of their line of sight.
Okay. All right. I tell you what. Go with it. We'll go with that. I like that because you have a lot of tree cover near you.
Yeah.
Make an acrobatic move to disappear.
This number is ridiculous. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it
nope,
is.
Not
Wow.
not too ridiculous.
Okay, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, you good.
Okay, so back to the tree.
And if you would actually like to move, you guys, I should clarify this, can move 50 feet, and each square is 5 feet. So if you'd kind of like to dive back behind the trees, like multiple squares even further back, you can do that.
Okay.
With that sweet acrobatics check. Janine, what will Rourke do?
I will move up a bit, and then I would like to bless my companions.
Okay, absolutely. JoAnne, what will Amian do?
So if I go to this tree down here, and I'm okay with them seeing that, because at the most, all I want to do is like fire like a warning shot.
Okay.
At the first little goblin that's going to come down. Like, not to try, maybe, well, at best, to knock off one of his mechanical wings.
Okay.
You know.
So if you want to hold your action and then shoot your crossbow if he gets too close?
Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'm going to just chill out in this tree and see what they're going to do.
She appears to speak something in, like, a draconic language, and it sounds like she's giving them orders, but she doesn't seem to do anything herself. And then the goblins are no longer sure where Lenara went. And I can tell you for a fact that JoAnne is way too far away and so is Janine. So they will just kind of swoop down towards you guys.
Okay.
They are within range of your crossbow. If you want to, you can attempt to get close to him. I would have you just make the same check.
Yeah, it's kind of like a warning shot, and to try and get him separated from those other two. So I would like to shoot in his general direction. Not necessarily, injure him.
Trying to get his attention.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's you clip off one of his little, like it almost like clips the mechanics off, and it just kind of flies off of his arm.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kind of drops like 3 feet to the ground because he only has one wing now, and he seems very confused by that.
And I'll kind of just say, like, why are you fighting, little one? Like, what is she? Why?
She lets us fly.
And that's all I have.
Okay.
I almost want to fly upward and try to get one of these guys and see if I can cut off their mechanical wings with my dagger.
Okay. I dig it. I mean, yeah, go for it. I will let you. I mean, you're more than within range. You guys can fly like 10 squares at a time. If you want to make just a melee attack with your dagger, and specifically with the intention of not harming him, just trying to remove the thing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to cut off the mechanical wing. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do.
Okay, go for it.
Not trying to cause harm.
Do you want to do one of the two that's floating still?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get this one like right here.
Okay.
Get that one right there.
So do a D. What you're basically going to do is you're going to roll an attack with the dagger. Okay, that's a 20. I tell you what, since he's going to... It's going to kind of disrupt his hovering, and he's going to drop. Make me an acrobatics check as well.
So she can catch him?
Yes, I kind of catch him and just like lower him to the ground real softly.
And then set him to the ground instead of letting him plummet.
Yes.
Absolutely. 1 second.
Poor little guy.
No harm will come to you.
Nope, you're good. That's a 20 and a 21. Very good.
Be safe, little one.
So you kind of you clip the wing, but at the same time you grab his arm and just kind of, I'm gonna move both of you, just kind of back down to the ground, and he kind of hey. Janine.
I'll go up here-ish, and I'll try to de-wing the last guy with my javelin.
Okay.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Go for it. Would you like to throw the javelin or just kind of like scoop it off his arm with the javelin? Basically, are you moving or not? Like up to him or just close to him?
I'll just go close to him.
Okay. Make your attack roll.
18.
Okay. You slice one of his wings off. One of the little mechanical wings. Make me, I'll say athletics for you.
21.
Okay. Yeah, you just kind of scoop him up with the back end of the spear and just kind of lower him to the ground. So you have 3 goblins that can no longer get off the ground. Unless they collectively figure out how to remove one of the other wings from one of them and reattach them to themselves somehow. And then like stack up and throw one of them. But that's going to take them a while. You probably don't have to worry about it.
They would have to regroup considerably.
Watch this happen.
It'll take him some time. And she seems very confused by the whole thing. Drekwin just kind of looks around and says, he said this would be easy. This is anything but easy. I'm not happy.
Who is he?
When you say that, she's like, fine. He's not going to... You know what? No. He's not going to be happy. And I'm more afraid of him than I am of you. Significantly more.
I don't know if this will be considered like an attack or like an intimidation. I kind of want to like shoot at one of her wings. Like I have to move, obviously. I think.
Okay.
I would like to shoot at one of her wings to just be like, so why don't you tell us about him? You know.
Make me an intimidation, I guess. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm intrigued.
Okay. Okay. Well, sorry, guys and gals. Let's see. D20.
I mean, if you want to just try and attack her to kind of spook her, that would be okay too, I guess.
No harm in that.
Well, let's go with this intimidation and see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it could be.
So what do you just kind of launch the arrow at her and you're like, hey, focus up.
Right. Right, like just kind of like shoot it, like let it graze over by her wing, not hit her wing.
Like try and make the point to her dangerous too.
Right. And
okay.
Just remind her like you're surrounded. So please be a little forthcoming.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I like it. She actually just kind of rolls over, spreads her wings out, and she kind of glides her way down and lands and just kind of looks at you. When I agreed to work for him, he promised me the tower, my own minions, and that this would be much less complicated than it is now. Appreciate him not being honest with me.
Am I allowed to move?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I'm going to come and, like...
You guys basically aren't in combat anymore.
Be by her?
You're kind of good to do whatever.
Right. Okay, cool. Within her... Not too close to her bubble, but, in her space a little bit, and ask her, like, why do you need minions?
I just kind of always wanted minions. All the dragons have minions.
And how does
you
that
notice
work
the goblins behind her are like, wait, she's not a dragon? Hold on, what now? That seems inaccurate. He promised me I could have my own minions, the tower, and I don't know, it seemed very straightforward. And now it's very not, because you've put my minions to sleep and taken their wings away from them.
How are you giving them wings?
No, to be honest, I'm not.
You're not.
His people do that.
And you're okay with this, Trecklin? You're okay with not knowing what's happening to your minions? Really?
Well, I mean, I get to have them, so... And I think it is kind of interesting that they can make them fly somehow. I'm not really sure how he does that.
But isn't that your duty, to know how your minions are being taken care of?
She starts genuinely kind of mulling over what you're saying. I never really considered what happens to them. They're mine, but I suppose that makes them...
That makes them your responsibility, my dear.
They're simply not expendable.
Suppose
And look
not.
how cute they are. Look how cute they are. You need to take care of them.
She smiles for the first time when you say that. I suppose they kind of are in their own little weird way.
It's an acquired taste.
No.
Drekwin, my dear, what did he ask of you? He promised you all these things. What did he ask of you?
I was just supposed to convince the goblins will listen to dragons. I was just supposed to convince them to cause problems. They seemed excited about the idea, and I got a tower. And it was fine. But at some point, 3 or 4 of them haven't come back, and that's not good.
It's concerning, isn't it?
It is. They are somewhat lovable little creatures, I suppose. The goblins are still very confused about why she's not a dragon, suddenly, but they seem touched.
Aww.
It's still very sweet, but they're still confused why she's not actually a dragon anymore. Because they're pretty sure she was, like, before you showed up, but she's not now. That's kind of confusing. And one of them's trying to climb the tree to get back up to where he can glide again.
Oh, poor baby. Okay, does anybody else want to ask her something?
Is the only purpose why you're serving this master of yours to have a tower? To somehow be seen as an equal amongst dragons, considering you are not one?
No, I am not. Well, he's frankly somewhat intimidating, and I always wanted my own tower. I hate living beneath the dragons. It was kind of a compromise for the two of us. It works out for me.
Did he promise you anything other than this tower?
No, I
and
mean...
minions?
The area. He seemed to think the goblins could cause enough chaos that you would leave. Or at least back off far enough for me to take control of some of those platforms.
Do you know of any other plans that he might have?
Not here. He did say that if we took control of more platforms, he would move the tower for me.
The whole tower?
Yes.
Oh.
And all of my things inside it.
Huh.
I'm really not sure how. He's a very unusual fellow.
Do you dare speak his name?
I don't know it.
How can you not know the name of the master you serve?
I wasn't willing to ask. He started making promises, and eventually I was just kind of convinced. Like I said, I really wanted the tower.
Do you know of his location?
He comes here. He's not from Igala, I believe is what you call it. He's certainly not from here. I have never seen another like him.
From another region.
She describes a creature, or a being that would be roughly similar in height to you, humanoid in build, but she considers him to be made of fire. And she kind of blows like a little bit of fire out of her mouth. He is of the flame. That is something I had not seen before. That makes him almost like a dragon, I suppose. He's not. He's small like you, but he is almost made of fire. You have seen merchants come through Igala at different times that were elemental in nature. Beings made of water, beings made of stone, beings made of fire. They're called Jinjai, or Genasi. They're elemental. But they don't ever really stay. They're not from your region. They're from nowhere near your region. But a lot of them are merchants.
Okay.
But if one of them is moving into the region and trying to, amass an army of some kind, that would be unusual.
Particular region where the fire Jinjai would originate from. That's the word.
You know that all Jinjai actually come from the same region. It's on the edge of an ocean to some extent, but it's kind of very... Oh, what's the planet? Revenge of the Sith, where Anakin and Obi-Wan fight.
Oh,
Mustafar?
Mustafar, yes. It's kind of very rocky and fiery and lava and elemental and harsh winds, that kind of thing. It's on the other side of the plane from where you are.
Oh.
I wonder if he has a castle.
You would think, because presumably he doesn't travel too far to get to her at the tower, or her where she was before the tower, he's probably not more than a couple of days' journey from here. If he is staying locally. She walks over and kind of pokes one of the goblins, and she kind of just scoops them up onto her back and lifts up and goes and sits back on the top of the tower. I will call them off. But he is not my problem. He is yours to deal with if you want him to stop. I don't really know what his purpose is. I know if he's exiled from his region to this one, perhaps he needs a new home.
If he's exiled, you are correct.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful.
You have made a wise choice.
Let's hope so. You seem, well, different than I expected. But your trust is appreciated. And she goes back in the tower, and as she walks in, the raiding will stop.
Perhaps it will be possible for you to make peace with the other Aarakocran.
I suppose I'm not opposed to that. You may send your delegations. So you're you seem fairly comfortable she's being straightforward with you. So you guys are free to go back if you wish.
Yeah, I would like to suggest take, what was his name? Igala?
Oh. The delegation from the royal sort of house that sent you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Veriloth. I don't know where.
I can't remember later either. It's okay.
So many names.
I even typed it out. It's fine. Whatever. Anyways, kind of just let him know what she said and how she was willing to at least have a conversation.
Let them know that she's no longer a threat.
He hesitates when you say it. If a Drake is taking orders from someone, that presents a larger problem.
Indeed.
We will speak with her, that's fine. But perhaps I will have something else for you to investigate in the future. Clearly, whatever this being is, whatever this Jinjai wants with us, is not good.
I agree.
Indeed.
So I think we are actually going to stop there. I want to say first, thank you, ladies, for joining me.
Thank you, Ryan.
Excellent.
Thank you.
If you want, we will... if you would like to tell the fine people where they can find you on Twitter, if you have anything you want to plug, feel free to. We'll start with Ashley.
I can be found on Twitter at APK1186.
JoAnne.
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter at LollyJojo. And I'm also on Instagram a lot, and that's LollyGina. Let's share a meme.
Yes, all the memes.
And whimsical gifs.
Yes.
GIFs, however you say it.
It's GIF.
It's totally GIF.
I put my foot down on that one for no reason, to be fair.
Okay.
But it's a thing for me.
Ditto.
All right.
So you can find both of them, and you can also find an article she wrote for Shanine on Shanine's website.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That is on thehootandhowl.com. And you can also find me on Twitter at thehootandhowl or Instagram at hootandhowltales, Tales.
And tell them what is on Le Blog.
We talk about geeky things and Jesus.
Excellent. And all these links to the Twitters and the Instagrams and to Shanine's blog will be in the links in the description, and to JoAnne's article, and to some kind of explanation about how I did the Aarakocran for this, because I made a lot of changes. This is not actual 5e anymore. I made choices, it's fine. I think it worked okay. I was being weird about it, but because Aarakocran are so specifically hampered because they can fly in regular games, I felt like if you could all fly, it didn't kind of matter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably
I'm going to nod my head and say, sure, whatever you say.
We'll go with it.
I
It
have
works.
no idea what you're talking about.
So thank you,
I'm
ladies,
a
for joining
swim
me.
position.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh, I'm just in agreement.
Oh,
Hey,
excellent.
I'm all nods because I don't fully understand, but this was a blast.
That's okay. We made it work, and hopefully you can go chase down this Jinjai in the future.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for more 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons for us. Maybe some other interesting things in the future. You can find us on Twitter at City on a Hill Game or cityonahillgaming.com or on wherever you get your podcasts. And if you go to a podcast place, I will also, yes. And also we are on Patreon now. You can search City on a Hill Gaming on Patreon. We have our first patron. It's JoAnne.
Woohoo!
Thank you. Seriously though, thank you. So go check out the Patreon or check us out wherever you get your podcast. And if you get your podcast from a place you can't find City on a Hill Gaming, let me know and I will try and fix the thing. Thanks for listening to City on a Hill Gaming. For more information, you can find us online at cityonahillgaming.com, email us at cityonahillgaming@gmail.com, or find us on Twitter at cityonahillgame. For more information on saving the game, you can find Peter, Grant, and Jenny at stgcast.org or at Saving the Game on Twitter. Thanks, and have a blessed day. Special thanks to all of our awesome Patreon supporters, JoAnne, Tony and the fine folks from the Nerd of Godcast, and Ashley. Your assistance in helping us produce the podcast is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to check us out on Patreon, you can head over to patreon.com/cityonahillgaming or find it in the show notes, I believe, or also pinned on our Twitter. Your help in producing this show is greatly appreciated. The show's going nowhere with or without that help, but it is truly a blessing to us, and we do appreciate it. Thank you.